It's a demo right now, right?
The project that's about to come out called Love and War. So sending love to you, G, because you really doing it out here. I see it. The growth is crazy. You're getting better at being an activist and journalist in this game and the things you want to do. So I'm sending love to you, sending love to the people too, God.
This is Money Scheme Official, episode 8. I'm your host, Money J. Our guest for today is the legendary Davinci.
Peace to all. Born out here in Seattle, raised in Tacoma all around, growing up on the hilltop, maintaining best I can, avoiding the pitfalls and snake traps, you know? I went to a couple of different high schools growing up. Stadium in Tacoma, shout out to everybody in Stadium. My man's, one of my boys I went to school with, man, just returned to the essence, man. Sending love to his family. I moved to Atlanta, went to Maynard, which is, I think, North Atlanta High. Bounced back and forth between Washington and Atlanta for a bit. Spent a little time in Philly and Jersey with my family out there. And then, yeah, came back this way, man. And it's been moving ever since.
When did you first get into music?
So I've always been attracted to it, right? Growing up, it was everywhere I was at. And not even just hip hop. I'm talking all type of music, man. I grew up on Anita Baker, man, D'Angelo, Earth, Wind, and Fire, man, all the oldies. Music's big in the family. It really wasn't until, I want to say, 5th grade, I started writing stories and poetry. You know, it started like that with a couple of my boys in them. We would get together and write stories. And my other man's was drawing. So we put it together and started making like little books. And then when I took poetry on directly, that's when I started being able to put words and bars together. And then I started getting into music. But I wasn't recording or nothing like that. I was just writing little, ABC rhymes here and there.
You got to discuss this album. I don't know if you got a title for it or it's a demo right now, right?
The project that's about to come out is called Love and War. Follow-up from the last project, Refinement. It's on all platforms. Go check it out. It's like 5 records. It paints a real story. This one I really felt hit the strongest because of all the changes that I went through. You know what I mean? Having children and so forth.
Love and War, right?
Right. That's the new one coming out.
That's amazing.
You like those records I sent you?
I've listened to 4 because I was stuck on Blizzard. I was like, nah, you got to keep listening, In fact, I'm scared because he's dangerous right now. I'm like, because you tearing it up.
I appreciate love, baby. One love. Keep it a buck though, right? When hip hop first started, man, it was one of those things that was almost like taboo. You see what I'm saying? And that's what drew people in to be a part of that culture. You see what I'm saying? And so everything that was coming out was original and things of that nature because people, it wasn't determined by the masses necessarily. I mean, you got your record sales and then people start getting deals and signed and labels and all that. But, you had to come with something that was going to make somebody go, ooh, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Now it's what it is you're coming up with or how you're flavoring on it. More dictated now based off of the general pop.
When does Love and War release?
I'm finishing up the last few records on it.
Okay.
So I hope at least by May or June, one of the two.
Is there any shout outs you want to put out for the album? I don't know if I heard a feature or not.
I don't have a feature right now. It's a lot of use of samples. So there's that. But shout out to all the producers that was rocking with me on getting this project together. Like my man Keezy, he's a strong producer. He's back in New York right now. But he's from, I think originally from Alaska, but he came out here and made a name for himself. Shout out to my man FGO. You know what I mean? He's the maestro that put it all together as far as engineering it. Shout out to my man Talented Beats. It's real deal with him. See what I'm saying? I've been working with him for a long time. and he gave me he laced me with some of the illest records, illest beats you'll hear. So peace to that. And Shorty, Kenzie Turner, man. She's gonna be on one of the records that I'm about to finish up now. And I think she's probably gonna be the only feature I got on it.
Yeah,
And
respect.
she really sing.
Is there any advice you can give to any either upcoming artists working with their craft?
That's a good question. I would say to the upcoming artists who are wanting to get the name out there, you got to take your time and be patient with it, because it will hit when it's supposed to. And really what it is being aware, man. You got to be aware of what it is you're doing, the message you're putting out,
Yeah,
but also, man, you know what I mean? Don't be out here, jacking style and shit like that, man. Be your own self. Original is the best way to be. And then to the rappers who are currently doing a thing, man, at least out here, you know what I mean? Y'all gotta, I'm saying, like, it's about unity, but don't fake the funk with that. You know what I mean? Don't play, there's a difference between being unified and playing both sides of the fence.
yeah,
Not not everyone's gonna be rocking the same style. And when you show love, that's organic. But when you play both sides, like I show love here, and then to another dude, you're showing love, but you're also, down in the next man, and until you get around them, and then then you jacking the style and shit. Now, I mean, keep it organic, and unity will fall through love, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Keep that one up.
what's a good way to use I don't know, how you're saying jack someone's style, like can you elaborate on that? Like what's a bad way to jack someone's style, but then what how can someone be able to pass the torch down to somebody?
People nowadays take the word, you see what I'm saying, but don't know the reference behind it.
Yeah,
So when I'm catching bodies and things of that nature, man, you don't really know what it entitles, you know what I mean, what it entails to that. So when I say jacket style, like in a bad way, is you see a dude sound like E40. Don't go and try to sound like E40, but understand the lessons on how he's doing his thing, his craft with that. You see what I'm saying? So not necessarily putting your words to slur like he do it with his slang, but come with a style that's witty. You know what I mean? That's something that's unpredictable in that regard. And it's all good to be influenced. Like I'm saying, like my style, I don't I'm not I don't jack nobody's style, but at the same time, to the uninitiated, I get people that say, yo, you got a Method Man style, or you got this Wu-Tang style. I can hear Nas or Jadakiss or whatever, but they don't never say, yo, you trying to be like them. And that's
yeah,
peace. Because I'm
yeah,
not. Do I ever do that? Or there's some records that be like, yo, that shit sound like, you got this Tupac flow, but they never be like, nah, you trying to be like Tupac. Because I know that how I flow and how I come up with stuff is all off the mind. See what I'm saying? The supreme thought. You know what I mean? And that's the good way. That's the good way to jack a style. And when I say jack, there's two ways of seeing that. Jacking out here in the West Coast is like stealing,
yeah,
which is like, but when you jacking somebody's style, at least in terms of how I heard it on the East Coast, man, it's like, yo, I like that, and this is the best part. This is how I can flip it and make it my own.
where's your music? You said it's on all platforms, right?
Right. Music's on all platforms, streaming now, man. iTunes, Spotify, you know what I mean? Wherever, Apple Music, wherever you find music, YouTube, all of that. I'm doing better at promoting the music. That way people can stay, up on it. You know what I mean? Give people updates. But when I get in the album mode, I don't really be out there like that. So I'm hitting more shows. But you can catch me on all the social media sites too. Davinci, DOC_Davinci, like Leonardo da Vinci. You know what I mean? And hit me up. They can DM me. You know what I mean? You can add me on social media, and I'm gonna get with you, because I'm not, I'm not a mystery. You see what I'm saying? I don't hold
Yeah.
myself. I'm damn sure not below anybody. I walk with you. So, you want to reach out, you like the style, you got an idea for something, I'm all for it. I got connections, whatever resources I can use to help you utilize, then yeah, that's peace.
How can somebody develop their craft more?
So, just like in terms of mentorship, man, like for me, there's people that I, definitely influenced by. I wouldn't say they were mentors, but definitely influenced, you know what I mean? As far as how they push their music out in the things they was doing. When you build your craft, man, you you gotta know yourself. That's the first part. So for me, I had to get knowledge of self. You see what I'm saying? I'm 5%, you know what I mean, in that regard, to the fact that, when I start building with my brothers and start going through the lessons, peace to all the gods and earths out there. You know what I mean? I started to get a better understanding of how I was taking on music that I loved. You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's what helped me focus on my craft, because what happens is you get so tied up with all the other records and people doing their thing that you lose sight of how you gonna write, and you get writer's block. Building the craft starts with knowing yourself and knowing what it is you want to do, your determined thought. You know what I mean? Being able to memorize your lyrics. Like for me, I don't like a lot of production when I perform.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? Like when I'm performing, yeah, I might have my chorus or the hook playing as a background or whatever, but I want people to hear the verse. You know what I mean? I don't need, the whole record playing. You know what I mean? And I say this, I said this the other day to my mans. It was like there was that versus battle with the Locks and Dipset.
Yeah.
And Jay just did his thing, man. Today's price is not, yesterday's price, you know? And so he went in there and showed why it was important to know your lyrics, man. I've been on stages where brothers depended on the background vocals and their lyrics playing. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I
Uh,
thought, to myself, son, you robbing the people who come out here to see the live show. Like
yeah.
they could go and listen to that in the car. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And so, for me, I made that a purpose to know my whole set. If I'm gonna do a 10-minute, 15-minute set with these certain amount of songs, I'm gonna know them. Yeah, like I said, I know every song, and I have my man send me the instrumental, and I work on it the whole week, if not the weeks prior to. Every day I'm going through the whole set list and I'm spitting it until I got it on cap, man. That's what I think that really builds the craft, is keeping your lyrics and the things you're doing on cap. You know what I mean? And, even if it's a freestyle where it's some bars you wrote years ago, but you just now hearing this different beat, being able to just spit that off the strength, you know what I mean, is important, because then it shows you how to be diverse when you are in different places with different people.
When's the next event?
Uh, I definitely hit open mics. Mondays out here is Mojam Mondays at the Next Lounge. For anybody who's seeing this, people don't understand that's the next part to it. You can be as gangster and as tough as you want to be, but it's a whole different thing when you're in front of people and they're not worried about your gangster. They want to know if your bars are hot or not. You know what I mean? And so, especially if you don't know how to control a crowd, or you got you up there with 50 other men, bouncing around the stage, and
Yeah.
not only that, you ain't even rapping, right? So you ad-libbing your own records. You see what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
yeah. So I do open mics to get that stage, to get my stage legs right, and I go to different ones. You see what I'm saying? Because there's some places that, some spots that do open mic that aren't even hip hop crowds. You know what I mean? And if you
Yeah.
can perform in front of them
Yeah.
and and get it done and rock it, then you on to something.
What's the process of how to get into the open mic?
What happens is, like Mojam Mondays, there's a whiteboard, right? And so they have it categorized by like vocalists And then if people have instruments, they'll sign up for that slot. And then when it's your time to go, you're up there with people who play the drums, the piano, who you don't know. You see what I'm saying? And then somehow, usually the drummer kicks it off, with a cool little drink. I mean, you can even, when you sign up, you can even talk to the people who are in the other slots. Like, yo, look, I'm gonna be the vocalist. I see you signed up for that time. I'm up there. Yo, start me off with something smooth. Like, give me some boom bap drink, so I can, get into the field. And what happens is the other artists up there, the performers, they'll add on to it, so it becomes just like this melody of rhythm. You see what I'm saying? It's hardly ever just mamble jamble sounds and instruments playing, and then you just got this mic. But see, sometimes you gotta let them rock. So sometimes some of the people are in a band together. You see what I'm saying? So they know what they rock and they know how to bounce off each other. And then you kind of have to go off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Switch the flow up, slow it down, or speed it up, however you see fit. But it's having that ear, man. I say continue to listen to music, man. Listen to music, listen to music, listen to music, in the sense of, getting that own unique style to yourself. But other places, the DJ who's there says, "Yo, look, it's a Bluetooth speaker. When you go up, connect to it, play your instrumentals or your songs right off of that. So it's not hard."
Yes, sir. Hey, brother, thank you for being on the episode. I really appreciate you. Um, nigga, I applaud you again. That an ovation off that album because
Hey,
that
yo, that's
crazy.
peace, man. That's peace. Yo, sending love to you, G, because you really doing it out here. I see it. The growth is crazy. Getting better at, you know, being an activist and journalist in this game and the things you want to do. So I'm sending love to you, sending
Thank you.
love to the people too, God.
You heard it. You heard it. Nigga, Doc Davinci, Money Scheme
Wow.
Official, episode
Mm,
8. Peace.
peace. All right, my